Welcome and thank you for joining us today. For those of you I don't know, I'm Scott Anderson, Senior Vice President of Kelly Connect. Kelly Connect is a technology solutions firm working with small and mid-sized businesses located across the Pacific Northwest with offices in Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Alaska. Big shout out and thank you to one of our most strategic technology partners today for joining us in Datto. And with that, I will turn it over to Eric Torres. Eric is going to walk us through the need for SaaS, software as a service, data protection, data backup, and specifically how that relates to Microsoft 365 and G Suite.
Thank you, Scott. As mentioned, I'm Eric Torres, Director of Channel Development for Datto. And real quick, a brief overview of Datto. We are the world's leading provider of business continuity solutions. One of the aspects of these solutions is protecting your SaaS data, your software as a service. It is the simple, automated, and secure Office 365 and G Suite backup that puts you in control. This trusted SaaS solution backs up Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, and now Microsoft Teams, which all of us have been using since COVID has changed the complete workforce and how we interact with our counterparts on a daily basis. It's also the trusted backup solution for the G Suite family of products. So the way that we communicate with our colleagues has certainly changed this year. It seems like overnight, back in March, the world changed and everything went to working from home and virtual meetings, collaboration and chatting and conferencing. As such, the use of Teams, Microsoft Teams, has exploded. But what also has exploded is the potential for that data to become corrupt or infected with ransomware. So why do we need to back this data up? Doesn't Microsoft and doesn't Google do that for us? They do, but there's a set period that they'll back up and retain that data. So if you are in an industry that has to keep data for a certain length of time, healthcare records, financial records, one of the ways to stay compliant is to make sure you have that data for 5, 7, 10 years. Microsoft simply does not have that capability. They actually recommend that you back that data up to an outside service, outside source, and an outside data center in case anything ever happens. Aside from that, your SaaS data is still vulnerable to downtime. We see this time and time again, especially lately with the increase of the use of Teams and Office 365 this year alone, where there have been reported outages of Microsoft. So imagine coming to the office tomorrow and suddenly you lost all connection to your email, your SharePoint, all of your folders, your infrastructure is completely gone. That's where Datto comes into play with Kelly Connect. We also know that ransomware is running rampant, and there is ransomware vulnerabilities within Office 365. It's actually called Ransom Cloud. This is targeting specifically Office 365 users. Now, how does that even happen? I thought that if I have my data living within Microsoft or Google, that it was completely safe. And that's simply not the case. A little while back, we saw a demonstration from a well-known hacker by the name of Kevin Mitnick. Back in the 90s, Kevin was sought after by the FBI, one of the FBI's 10 most wanted for breaking into organizations and stealing and dispersing their data. And they wanted to make an example out of him. So they caught him and put him in prison. And while he was in prison, he started working with the government. He said, here's exactly how I infect data. Here's how I steal data. Here's how I get into networks. Here are the vulnerabilities and here are the risks. So I saw this demonstration that he did on Ransom Cloud. And how do they do it? Real simple. It's a phishing email. Sends you one of your users an email that looks exactly like this. Has the Microsoft logo, and it asks your end user, one of your employees, do you want to update your anti-spam? And you say, sure, I want to update that. Next pop-up opens up and it looks exactly like a Windows update. Has the logo, says, do you want to accept this update? Yep, looks legit. I don't want spam. Let's click accept. As soon as that user clicks accept, the entire domain is infected. Every single mailbox on that Office 365 account looks exactly like this. The body of the email is encrypted. You can't read a word that it says. You can read the subject line and you can see who that email is from, because that way you know that it's a real correspondence that you've been working on. And there's one email in every mailbox that says, your data is being held ransom. This is how you pay me. This is the single fastest evolution of ransomware that we are seeing. Ransom cloud is on the rise. So with Datto SaaS protection, we have a method of backing that data up and storing it elsewhere, so that even if you do experience ransom cloud, you still have access to your data. You can still restore from that copy of data, and you can still take care of your business and your clients, all using Datto's SaaS protection. Through Kelly Connect, let us manage your technology. Take that first step in contacting us at info@kellyconnect.com. Thank you.